In this video, we're going to talk about the sketchbook assignment titled Contour Lettering. And for contour lettering, all you need is some drawing materials. I would suggest having a pencil, and then any other type of drawing materials will do. Crayons, colored pencils, Sharpie. I did all of this with washable marker. If you have access to pastels, you could play around with those. Totally up to you. The second thing that you need to complete this assignment is a quote. You could use a quote that you find online. If you want a quote from a specific person, you can just do a Google search of that. There's also a website called brainyquotes.com. You'll see it on the bottom of your screen here. That one is a great one. You can search quotes by topic, by subject, by person. That's a really good resource. Otherwise, just go to Google or even Pinterest. And you can also do a song lyric if you'd like, just make it school appropriate. To complete this assignment, the first step you're going to do is draw a series of horizontal lines on your paper with a pencil, like you can see here. You want to make sure these lines are fairly lightly drawn, and you want to have at least, I'd say, 3 or 4 of them. But you also don't want to fill up your entire paper with lines. Use mine as an example. The second thing you're going to do, you can see me doing now with a pencil, you're going to write out your quote. Now you might want to plan it out, especially if you have a quote with quite a few words. You might want to plan out how many words are going to go on each line. You probably don't want to select a quote that only has 3 or 4 words because that might not be enough to fill up your paper. And then as you can see, first I did it with pencil and now I'm going over with a marker. When you draw your letters, and this is the key point for contour lettering. So if you take only one thing out of this video, this is it. When you draw your letters, they need to be touching the line. So you can see they're touching, the top of the letter is touching the line above, and the bottom of the letter is touching the line below. So you want to make sure that those letters are contouring with your lines, okay? Now I went through and I added teal marker, so I have all of my letters are the same color. You do not have to do that. I like to do that because I think it kind of stands out. All of your letters could be different colors. I would thicken your letters up, play around, maybe try to make them bubble letters. Totally up to you. They're not going to look perfect. They're going to look a little misshapen because they're contouring, and that is the idea. And that's also why we want to do this in pencil first. So if you goof, if you do something you don't like, you can always erase. When you're drawing with pencil, make sure that you're always drawing lightly. And now you can see in the video, I'm going through and adding color. Just like all of our sketchbook assignments, we want this to be a finished piece. So we want it to fill up the whole page, and we want to add some color. It's okay to add some white space. As I'm watching this video, I'm thinking to myself that I should have maybe left in between the letters white, but what can you do? It's already done. I'm going through and using colored pencils, and I'm kind of working to fade or blend the colored pencils, going from dark to light. You can use whatever materials you have available to you. If you only have regular pencils, you might want to add patterns or play around with blending from dark to light. The sky is the limit, and you can feel free to make this your own. So in conclusion, what you can see on this finished product is I have my squiggly lines throughout. I've used up my entire piece of paper. I stuck with sort of a color scheme. My whole book has kind of a rainbow color scheme, so I stuck with that. And when I drew my letters on here, they are touching the top of, or I'm sorry, I should say they're touching the bottom of this line and the top of this line. So each letter sort of stretches from line to line. That's why it's called contour lettering, because it contours, your text sort of flows with the lines that you have drawn. Use all the examples that you see on Google Classroom as inspiration and have fun with this one.